And it's about a couple hours before we, start having people come over. And my brother and I, we opened the box, and it's a completely raw turkey. What's your fondest memory of growing up?
Eating my Korean grandma's special noodles, as we called it, which were japchae noodles, and it's today one of my favorite dishes to make. They're super long, fun noodles, and they taste so good. I was always told that they were like lucky, and if you had a super long one, you got super lucky. So I've always had fun doing that and making them with my grandma growing up.
Aeroplane spotting with my dad. Like when I'd be driving with him in a car and we'd see an aeroplane overhead or like in front of us, but obviously in the sky because we'd be driving. We would just be like, "Oh, aeroplane!" I don't know why. And then when I wasn't with my dad sometimes, because obviously like he doesn't live with me, if I'd see an aeroplane outside my window because I live kind of close to an airport, then I'd still spot the aeroplane, but it would make me think of him a lot.
I would love playing basketball, not even with my friends, but even just going out when it's raining, even in cold weather. Would go, just me, nobody else, shooting around, working on my skills and trying to get better. It was always there for me. Whenever there were hard times or stressful times as a kid, I would just go out with my basketball and wouldn't care about anything else that was going on.
Every night, during the weekdays, I would wait for my mom to finish work, and then we would take kind of a walk around the neighborhood at sunset. And that seems like really small, but in context, I lived in a really small town. There was nothing to do. Like literally the town was a square mile. It was very dead. And on top of that, my mom was super busy. Like my mom works. I didn't realize that people didn't work weekends until like semi-recently, because my mom would work every single weekend and till really late at night. And those walks were kind of one of the times she took a break, and we would catch up about the day and talk. And I definitely remember those a lot.
When I was younger, every summer, my family, which was just my mom and dad at the time, we would drive down. I lived in San Francisco, so we would drive down to San Diego, and we would just like hang out at SeaWorld and like go to the aquarium and just like see fish. And for me personally, I don't know if this is relevant, but for me personally, I'm a child of I guess not divorce, but like separation. My father was absent a lot for most of my teenage and adult years. So looking back, it makes me cherish those times a lot more. Being with my family and having a certain tradition and having a certain routine. Every summer we'd drive down, we'd make it a road trip, we'd go see fish. I just love fish.
I love Vietnamese food, and like my mom, I felt like I was so spoiled as a kid because my mom's such a great cook, and so she would always cook for us. And so family dinners really mean a lot to me. We don't have them as much anymore. Like I don't live with my parents, and because my parents are split now, we don't really come together to have a home-cooked meal. And so I think that's my fondest memory, because I felt like, Asian people, like food equals love. And so now I understand, and food does equal love, and now I like really miss it. And so sometimes my mom still cooks for me and sends me some stuff to take home to go when I visit her. But yeah, I miss like just family dinners and meals with my parents. So
It was my freshman year of college, and I was back in my hometown for Thanksgiving, and my family had decided that we were going to host Thanksgiving for our other Chinese friends in the area that we went to church with, what have you. And we had pre-ordered this meal from a grocery store, and we had thought for some reason that the turkey was already going to come cooked, like you would get at a lot of places. And it's about a couple hours before we, start having people come over. And my brother and I, we opened the box, and It's a completely raw turkey. And at the time, like, I'm 18 and I have no idea what to do. And my dad just steps in and says, hey, go back to the grocery store, buy all the rotisserie chickens you can find. And, we got all these sides and I'll cook these up and I'll make them. But just go and get whatever you can find. And my brother and I go back out to the grocery store. We buy whatever we can find. And then everyone comes over and we explain the situation. And they couldn't have cared less. I mean, it was just such a great time, and they were just so thankful, and I was so thankful that we could all just kind of hang out, spend time together. Some people I hadn't seen in a couple months since leaving for college, and it was just a great time for all of us to be able to come together and just enjoy each other's company. And there were a lot of moments like that I had growing up, and because we had such a tight-knit, community of Chinese Americans, we were really there for each other, and I really, really am appreciative of that now.
What's the first piece of Asian media that really resonated with you? Well, back in middle school when I was really trying to learn Mandarin,